Good day and welcome to this grow along video where we're going to be sowing one of our favorite vegetables, even though it's actually a fruit. We're going to be sowing tomatoes. Now, if you've been watching the grow along videos, you will know that we've already sown one variety of tomato that was called Tiny Tim. It's a bush variety and only grows up to about 2 to 3 feet, so is good for containers. Today we're going to be sowing mainly tomatoes that are a cordon variety. They are tall, can grow to 5 foot, 6 foot, even 8 foot or more in the right conditions. In Guernsey, where I come from, when Guernsey had a huge tomato industry, they would grow up to about 20 feet. I mean, it was extraordinary. But yes, I don't expect any of ours to do that. So we've got that one variety, Tiny Tim, already sown, and the seedlings are about 3 inches, 2 inches to 3 inches high at the moment, and we will be potting those on, and the peppers that we sowed at the same time in the next week or so. Today we're going to be sowing 11 varieties. Some are new to us, some are absolute standards. And I'm going to show you each seed as I normally do as we go along. Now, 11 varieties of tomatoes, the seeds are going to look quite similar because tomato seeds do look quite similar. Unlike beans and peas, which can look quite different, tomatoes look quite similar. But still, I want to show you the slight differences. There may be differences in colour, there may be differences in size. So I'm just going to show those briefly. There'll most probably be 2 or 3 seconds of each on the palm of my hand. We're going to be sowing them in this little propagator. We've got a windowsill propagator, which you will have seen before. It doesn't have any electricity or additional light, but 3 of these sit in a tray, and I'm going to be segmenting these trays and putting names along the marker to make sure I know what I am sowing where. And of course, when I go to prick them out and pot them on, I know exactly what I'm going to be pricking out and potting on. So let's crack on and do that. First of all, let me show you the seeds. Just before we do, you can see I've put a number in the top right hand corner there. That's the number of plants I would like this year to grow. So I'm going to be sowing about double that. So I'll be sowing in this case about 18 seeds. And the other seedlings that do come up, I will give away. But that just is a note for me to know that there are some that I want maybe 18 or 16 or 12 of. There are other varieties that I just want 2 or 4 of. Red Oxheart. It's a large variety of heart-shaped tomatoes, as the name suggests. A favourite of ours. Originally we got the seed from Gabby. These are Sandal Moldovan from the Heritage Seed Library. Costoluto Fiorentino, an Italian variety with quite pronounced shoulders. Emerald green cherry, as it suggests, a green cherry tomato. So when it's ripe, it's green. Black Krim, a quite dark, blackish, shiny tomato. First time for us last year, and we really enjoyed it. Pink Bulgarian, another of our favourites. It's sort of duck egg shaped and pearlescent pinky red. Amish Paste, our absolute favourite tomato at the moment, and it has been for a few years. Again, egg shaped and quite red and rosy. Golden Sunrise, as the name suggests, a yellowy tomato. And these are from Roshni, so thanks very much for these, Roshni, much appreciated. These are Amish Sherbert and have been sent to us by Sandrine. We're growing these because we like the Amish Paste ones so much. It was a good idea to try these Amish Sherbert. These are Dancing with Smurfs. Not bright blue, and neither is the fruit, but with that name, how could you not grow it? Again, thanks to Sandrine for sending us these saved seeds. These are Cherokee Yellow, which are a lovely yellow tomato with red stripes when it gets really ripe. These were sent to us again originally by Gabby. I think Gabby has said that these have a different name, so if I can find that, I'll put that on the screen. This is the windowsill propagator that we've got, 3 sections. Each of them has got a little lid which has got air vents. These trays have now been filled to within about 3/4 of an inch of the top of the seed tray with multi-purpose compost. This is peat-free multi-purpose compost. If you want to use specialist seed sowing compost, that's up to you, but we have done so in the past, but we've also used multi-purpose most of the time and not found a difference. So we just use multi-purpose. What I am going to do now is just use another tray, put it on top and press down just to level that surface off a bit for seed sowing. Amish Paste and red ox heart are the ones that we want most of. So I'm putting an Amish Paste marker in there and a red ox heart in there. I just turn that around, you can see the names. And now I'm going to sow our seeds. These are Amish Paste. Try and separate seeds. Sometimes they'll stick together, especially if you've saved your own. Now red ox heart. Both of these are saved seed that we saved last year. And now I'm just putting about 1 centimetre of compost on top. And then pressing down. This is to make sure that the seeds are in good contact with the compost underneath and also this compost on top. Let's wiggle our names up a bit so that we can see them. Now I'm going to do the same with this one and this one. So that's all the seeds sown, and now I'm just going to give a little water with my bottle. And now each of these is having its lid placed on. And what I'm going to do is just close the vents for a couple of days. That will create condensation inside and make sure that your compost in there stays nice and moist to moisten up those seeds so that they can start germinating. In 3-4 days, I'll start looking at them and opening the slat up a little bit if I think it needs additional air. That is our main tomato seed sowing done for the year, which is fabulous. These should be up within about 7 to 14 days. These are going to be going home with me and be in our top room, which is quite warm and bright. When they do germinate, do keep turning them around, check them each day, because they will bend towards the light, they'll grow towards the light. So if you see them growing towards the light, turn them around so that they're facing away from the light, and they will grow the next day towards the light. And hopefully we'll be pricking these out in about 4 to 6 weeks time. The paprikas and the tomatoes, the tiny Tim tomatoes we sowed earlier in February, are ready to be pricked out in the next week or so, as I said. I will just keep a check on these daily and make sure that that compost stays moist, because you don't want it to dry out and you also don't want it too wet. So yeah, that's it. We will have a look at these further on in their growing cycle. Any questions, please do put them down below. Any comments, please do the same. And I'll see you for another grow along video very soon. Bye.